We're here with Michael Diamond and Sabrina Maddeaux, and we were talking about the Conservative Party of Canada's leadership race. And we were talking about how Pierre Poilievre won a landslide victory. But that being said, there were other valuable candidates in the race. And I just think that it's important that we talk about, what they offered to the party and will it make a difference in the party? So Sabrina, how do you feel about the other candidates who ran and where do you think they're going to go move forward?
I think it was a big asset for the Conservatives to have such a strong slate of candidates who represented different factions of the Conservative Party, so that the public really got to see that there's debate within the party, that conservatism can mean different things, and it doesn't have to be a one-size-fits-all. So when we're talking about a big tent going forward, I think this positions them well, assuming everyone continues to unite and move forward together. In terms of the overall demographics, just the fact that they had so many new members sign up, that voter turnout was relatively high, that shows there's a movement, there's momentum, and if Pierre's team can sustain that going into a general, that's going to be extremely powerful. Jean Charest came in second with 16% of the vote, which was quite interesting. But the most interesting part is that he did not win overwhelmingly in Quebec or even win the most Quebec ridings, period. I believe Pierre won all but 6 ridings in Quebec, which shows that he has that ability to reach out beyond the West. Another interesting candidate to look at was Roman Baber, who did quite well, and he garnered quite a bit of support, although it was still a low percentage of the overall numbers. You can tell on social media in terms of the ranked ballots, like he has some momentum as well, and I believe we'll see him run probably for a federal position whenever the next election is, and perhaps he'll play a prominent role in the party going forward. The third thing is it was a bit surprising to some people how poorly Leslyn did after quite a good showing the last time she ran for leader, and that could be indicative of a diminishing presence for social conservatives within the party, and perhaps their power and their role as kingmaker or queenmaker isn't quite as big as it once was.
Yeah, it's possible. I hear you. I think I agree with you. I think that it was a little surprising to see Leslyn's results being as low as they were. Her threshold between Roman Baber and her was quite small. And frankly, I mean, this was her second go of it. And you would have expected that maybe she would have gained momentum. But if anything, she didn't get it. So, Michael, what are your thoughts about that?
Look, I think specifically for Dr. Lewis, running was a mistake. She was in very good position to be a leader within the party, not the party leader, but a leader within the party and within the caucus based on her last result, which was very situational. She was running against 2 candidates who were frankly neither resonated greatly with the base and the membership. It was a very lackluster race during the actual shutdown period of the pandemic. So she benefited from all that, and she should have ridden those coattails into a future leadership role within the party instead of another campaign for leader where she did, frankly, quite a bit worse than she did in the last go-around. So I think for her, definitely a miscalculation in running. I would definitely agree with Sabrina. Roman Baber did very well, considering that he was relatively unknown. He was seen by many as a single-issue candidate, and to get 5% of points, over 5% of points, is nothing to sneeze at. And I think he definitely, if he wants it, has a future within the federal Conservative party heading into the next election, which is certainly a win for him, considering where the trajectory of his political career and how he left Queen's Park here in Ontario. Jean Charest is another one. This is someone who I personally have a great deal of respect for. I'll remember forever his convention speech in 1992 when I think I was in grade. I was actually in grade 2 in '93. Sorry, when I was in grade 2. But I'll remember that speech forever, and I'll remember his campaigning during the 1995 referendum and as a leader of the PC Party of Canada in 1997. Unfortunate result for him. A guy who I have mad respect for and I think has been a great public service for Canada. He just, situationally, this was a hurricane and he could not have seen this when he got in, just the momentum Pierre was going to have and just really had a bit of a lackluster campaign. And unfortunately, he had some really good policy initiatives that he was championing, but in terms of, the execution, the field operations of the campaign, my understanding is, he actually was outsold in several provinces in terms of membership sales details by Roman Baber. And so coming from, Captain Canada to 16% of the points allocated in the Conservative leadership election is certainly disappointing, but I personally hope has no bearing on his great legacy for this country.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. I think that he was the underdog that nobody expected. And he raised himself to a degree that now he's a contender. And so we look forward to seeing what Roman does next. But that being said, we're going to take a break and we're going to talk about moving forward.